How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be doing an in-depth review on the THINKTOOL Master. This is a scan tool that I was sent a number of months ago, given no directive on how to produce this video, just asked for honest feedback from the company and asked to showcase how I found the product. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video. I've already done part one on this, which is the unboxing and basically an overview of all of the capabilities and add-ons that this scan tool has. In this one, I'm going to be showcasing some of the jobs that I worked on and how I found this tool overall. So without further ado, let's get into it. Just before I get into all of the different jobs that I did, I'm going to go over probably 9 or 10 different jobs and include it in this video. I'm going to go over some of the features I look for and some of the benefits of having a scan tool like this. First one is wireless. Having the ability to be wireless is very, very useful. And that's whether you're under the bonnet, you have the vehicle in the air, you want to spin the wheels, check the wheel speed sensors, you want to command the fuel pump on and off and you're on the underside, or maybe you're in the back seat. Maybe you want to get some wiring diagram information and that's in on the PC. You want to hook up an oscilloscope and you want to open your laptop, have the picoscope open. Having the ability to have the live data beside you, whether it's on your tool cart, beside the vehicle, under the vehicle, etc. Very, very useful. And if you are of a generation or commonly used to a wired setup, once you go to wireless and you see all the benefits of it from all of the different jobs, you'll find that you will only want a wireless from there. Now, there is wireless functionality that can drop out. I have used scan tools in the past that haven't been great. This one worked effortlessly, didn't drop out, communication was good, range was good throughout the workshop, and when I was in the office looking up different service information. This is the dongle for it, which you plug in. That's out of the way of the pedals when you need to do road tests. There is an extension cable as well, which I do like to use so I don't leave it in the vehicle. So when I'm under the bonnet or if I'm doing something away from it, I will always use the extension cable onto it. If I'm doing test drives, I'll take the extension cable out and then I'm free of any cables in the way and I can monitor the live data. Battery life is the next one. Has it got a good battery life? Is it going to be reliable throughout the day? Yes is the answer. No issues there and you won't have a problem. Has it got a good stand? This one has a 180-degree stand. I have it tilted perfectly here so there's no shine off the screen, but you can hang it on the steering wheel. You can mount it in all different angles for better viewpoints under the bonnet. And it's really good. It's one of the best stands that I have used. I really like the fact that it can go 180 because you can hook it as well. Screen size, very nice. Everything is easily visible. You can graph 4 different things at one time and you can pinch, zoom in and out on those. Workshop friendly. Is it a rugged design? Is it strong enough to be able to be put in the hands of multiple techs or used over and over and over again? The answer is yes. Very strong. These are impact style designs. So if it's dropped, it's meant to be protected. Ergonomic grip, meant to be slip resistant style here, which I have felt that on many other different tools and scan tools over the years, which is nice. Good feel in the hand. Overall, a nice design. Reports, having the ability to do pre and post scans and be able to save them, generate them, email them, print them, attach them to a job card to give to a customer or for your own records. Maybe you have a job that is going to be repaired much later on down the road and you want to save all of the fault codes that was originally there before you start to do the repair. That's going to be in the Think file. Everything that you want to save will be in here. You got the diagnostic report, battery test reports if you have that add-on, and diagnostic record. And again, email, save, print, whatever means you want, it's there. Module add-ons, very, very beneficial if you plan on using this in a workshop. Printer, work light, thermal imager, endoscope, battery tester, oscilloscope, Bluetooth battery clip, and key programmer. all of those are going to be very useful for you on different jobs as an add-on. The oscilloscope being the standout, thermal imager and endoscope printer, if that is something of real benefit to you, especially if you're doing battery tests and them quick scans that you want to just generate a report and give to the customer, that could be useful. Highly recommend utilizing the feedback on any scan tool that you would use. If you're finding that something's not communicating for one reason or another, there's any bugs, any software that's not upgradable or useful for you, send it in feedback so they can get to work on it. The upgrades, this is something that's going to keep coming up all of the time when connected to your Wi-Fi within a range, whether you're hotspotting off your phone or not. You'll find there'll be loads of upgradable software. In this one, 205, you can just select the ones you want. You don't have to simply keep upgrading every one you want. You can just go, oh yeah, they're the ones that I would use, they're the ones that I wouldn't. This is I've paused, and next time I am beside the Wi-Fi, I will reconnect up and have that all active again. So when I'm back in the workshop tomorrow, I can finish all of those. I paused it for the time being. Volkswagen guided functions, so you can see, and it's 2 years of updates is included in this tool. Maintenance, we got the maintenance side, which everyone is going to want to have in a scan tool. There's 41 inbuilt in this one. So all your common ones, airbag, your brake, so if you're rewinding brake calipers, brake bleeding, coolant, if you got multiple pumps that you have in these German vehicles, you're going to want to be able to activate those to bleed the system fully. There's going to be airlocks in between, especially if you've done a lot of work. And having a scan tool that's capable of that is very important. All of these ones are in the vehicle, and as you can see, a ton of different information on it. So again, very, very high level. Having 41 available, you'll find the lower the scan tool you go down, you might have anywhere from 8, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then the higher level ones have 30 plus, and this one has 41 different ones. That's for purchasing different things in the Think Store TPMS. So if you're doing anything in your shop with regards to tire pressure monitoring systems, that's going to be a nice feature for you. ADAS, so if you're doing advanced driver assisted systems, you're going to need to spend quite a bit of money to have the add-ons for that. But again, if you are in, let's say if you were in a body shop which is doing damaged repairs, you're going to be needing to do calibrations afterwards. If you are in a diagnostic shop which does absolutely everything, they're going to be doing ADAS as well, because you're not going to be sending that work away. So you would have the ability to do that with this tool. So very, very good there as well. Okay, and that is a overview. You have your diagnostic, you have your intelligent diagnostics, you have your topology layout, and you have your system list, all of the different functions, the online programming that can be done with this tool as well, coding, online programming, special functions. It is a heavily loaded diagnostic tool. I'm going to now go to the section of showcasing what jobs that I worked on. I'm going to pick a number of different jobs and just show you different levels that this tool has done for me over the last number of weeks and months. The first job that I went to use it on was a Santa Fe 2012 2.2 diesel, just after doing the fuel filter. And I decided to try it because in vehicles like this which don't have a hand primer, if you command through the scan tool activation of the fuel pump, you can try and bleed the system up. That bleeding process will help when you're trying to turn over the engine. Anyone who's done diesel fuel filters and had difficulties with airlocks afterwards will know what I'm talking about. And it was successfully able to bleed it up, and I was able to get the pump activated multiple times, get the diesel flowing through it, and then try and start the vehicle afterwards. And as you could hear there, it didn't take very long to start at all. If you didn't do that, if you just tried to get the vehicle to crank over, it would be much longer than that. Puts extra pressure on the starter, and you're running the pump dry for long periods of time as well. So always better to try and prime it up as good as possible, and that's a little trick I use by commanding the fuel pump on and off, and it worked successfully on the Santa Fe that I wanted. The next thing I did was a Havel, a simple service reset. Now the reason I took this scan tool out to do this was another technician wasn't capable of doing it with the Snap-on. Snap-on didn't have Havel. Havel is a very common brand over here, and I was able to successfully reset it and input the maintenance schedule data that was required using the Think tool. And as you can see, the reset maintenance schedule successfully worked, and the warning light was gone off the dash. So a couple of quick jobs and successful jobs to start off. The next job that I worked on was a Mazda BT50 / Ford Ranger 2015, and it was a full system scan and some initial live data checks. This had multiple fault codes stored. Spoke to the customer, wanted just the pre-scan to be saved, attached onto the service history, and to clear the codes and reassess at a later date. So I did get in and out of all the modules that I needed to. That was the topology layout that you've seen there. This is the diagnostic trouble code screen, which gives you the option to go into the freeze frame data, do an online code search is the middle one there, or go directly on to the data stream. So a very nice layout, a very useful one, and was able to function in and out exactly as was required. I did do up a report and attached it on to the job card for this customer. You can enter loads of different information. You can put down the technician, you can put a whole host of notes of exactly why or what you did as part of the job, and that can be emailed, it can be printed out and attached, or you can just save it as a case study for yourself as well. So lots of information, and it did this effortlessly, and I was on to the next one. The next job that I worked on was a Mazda CX-5. Now this one came in with an engine oil level warning on it, and the engine oil level was high. There was a service done, there was some corrections done, and then we had these fault codes. So the engine oil level too high, and then engine oil level sensor circuit range performance was the two codes. But as you can see here, when I go to try and clear the diagnostic trouble codes, they don't go away. Now, this is something that I've come across before on Mitsubishis as well, the likes of the Tritons, and you do have to go in and do some resets. This one had the oil life reset done, but then I needed to do a data reset as well. So if you don't have the ability in your scan tool to go in and enter some of these details, some relearns or some resets, you're not going to be able to clear some fault codes like this. Engine oil levels increasing can be for many different reasons, but one of them reasons is the engine oil level is too high, and that can be caused by oil dilution. Oil dilution can be caused by diesel wash from faulty DPFs or regenerations happening too often, not correct drive cycles happening, which makes it beneficial or perfect for that DPF to burn off, and then you end up with oil level increasing because of diesel contamination. That's why service intervals done at the correct times are so important in these type of vehicles. As you can see here, I was able to clear it. I'm now cycling the key on and off, and I'm going to be checking to see if I was successful in being able to clear the diagnostic trouble codes. Remember, in the earlier part of this clip, I went to clear it and it just came up with the exact same codes immediately again. I go to try and clear it again after entering the data reset that I needed to do. And clear fault code memory completed. And as you can see, we have no DTCs registered now. So then I just run the engine and check to see if all the lights are off. And thankfully this was another successful job. Next job I used the THINKTOOL on was a Mercedes W204 airbag warning light on in the dash, and this one was initially diagnosed with another scan tool, but I said after the repair I'd use it and see if it was capable of doing what I required on this job. Topology layout is nice because you have power, then the green line is body, and you see all that's connected. ADAS, which isn't in this vehicle at all, so that'll all be grey. Safe, so you're going to have SRS in there. Stability is in there too. Doors, chassis, audio. So very nice layout to run through all this. I'll monitor the voltage as well because I don't want that to drop down. That's always a handy thing to have. I love that they started putting them into scan tools, because sometimes you're sitting in the vehicle for a long period of time. Like, these scans might be quick in some vehicles, they might be slow in other ones, but the fact that you have a little monitor now to see if the voltage is dropping down low, you can either go and get the battery put on charge, put a battery maintainer on it, or in some cases start the vehicle and allow some charge to go through it. So we have seat occupied recognition, front passenger has a malfunction. So that fault was related to the seat mat. So when you sit down on the seat, that pressure mat occupancy recognition system has a fault in it. So I have confirmed that. I did some testing. I have confirmed that that mat is faulty. The issue has been rectified since, and now we're trying to clear the system. If it clears straight away, we know we have rectified the issue. If it doesn't, there's going to be a problem. So I'm going to see if this clears. Switch ignition off. Click OK. Now clearing fault memory. Wait 10 seconds. Switch ignition on. Okay. And we have that was stored regardless. The SRS has gone green. So that looks like that light is going to be quenched. Let me start it up now. I'll keep an eye on that light. And that airbag light has now gone off. So the airbag light is off in the background there, and I'll just click into this because I want to see. Rain sensor has a malfunction, light sensor. So these two are both the same fault, which is that unit up there. So that light sensor or rain sensor is faulty, resides up in this position, and it works the auto light feature. So when you have that auto light feature on and you are driving along during the day and no lights are on, it's because you have that light sensor. Also operates through the wipers, so if rain comes on you get that auto wipers coming on and off. That's what that is, and that fault there is related to it. The next vehicle that I worked on was a Volkswagen Beetle, again full system scan and a diagnostic, and in this section I just wanted to show you the comprehensive list within the special functions section that it had for this Volkswagen. So using the THINKTOOL on a Cruise, so this is a Chevy Cruise or a Holden Cruise, and I have been successful in doing the engine oil service reset, so that's been done, but also couple of things I want to show you. Fuel trim data. I love this layout that's in some scan tools where you don't have to
necessarily pick in each individual PID. They have some predetermined ones that they expect based on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for fuel trim data, you can just select that, and instead of having 100 plus PIDs or 200 plus PIDs, it'll narrow it down to all of the ones they expect you to want, and then you can select from there. Same with misfire data and all of that. Going into this, the special functions, I was able to do a fuel trim reset and the engine oil life reset, because this had fuel trims all over the place. It was running rough, cutting out, and it had the P0171 fuel trim fault code, which is common. Sorted that issue, reset the fuel trims, did a service on it, and everything is now running perfect with it, and engine light is off. You also have the ability to do the throttle body idle airflow compensation reset, and the learn function, crankshaft position variation learn, oxygen sensor, brake pedal position, and idle learn. So a lot of information in this scan tool. So I'm just scanning this BMW 525D. This one has had some major work done to it, and the battery ran low. So what you're seeing here is a combination of all of the fault codes from loss of communication plus the fault codes from the fault as well. So there's not going to be many that are clear. It's going to be pretty much all of them. Now I am going to save that just so I have the previous, and then I'm going to clear them all. Save that, put down pre-repair. Now we'll go back and we're going to clear them all, and hopefully we do get to clear them all. Well, that's positive. Let's see what this is. Power window, driver's window, no initialization. Under voltage. That's fine. Okay, we're going to start this up now in a sec and see what it does.
So now that I was happy with the engine running well and the engine lights off, we didn't have any power faults, engine light off, and there was multiple other ones that had to be resolved. That side was done. I went back into the FRM, which is the footwell module, and I wanted to see if it had any capabilities of getting into the driver's door window, no initialization fault, and trying to find out some more information. In the system info there, it shows you in the window status the driver's side window lifter destandardized, whereas all the other windows were standardized. Knowing that there was an issue there, I wanted to be able to see if I could initialize that window and get that fault code off the system from being stored every time it was scanned. So right here you see F1 driver's door. That brings you into the initialization section. Do you want to start the initialization of the driver's door power window regulator? The window is opened and closed during the initialization. It has started and the window will be denormalized. Goes down, then up. It brings it back down again, and then it goes up, and that is the process to initialize this driver's door window. So I wanted to see if I would be capable of completing this, so I'm watching the scan tool for the end result, and the selected power windows have been initialized, showcasing that it was successful, it was capable of doing it, and it has got a result. So I click continue, go through this next section now, which is basically I want to get into the fault code, clear the fault code after I'm out of this window. I can see the window status, which is showing that it has standardized. The window status has changed and they're now all the same. And I want to be able to clear the DTCs. So click it here, then go back in and check.
So that worked. That initialization of the driver's window has cleared that fault code now. So in the special functions on this, 525D BMW was capable of eradicating that fault code that was stored by doing an initialization on the driver's window. So that was good. Another plus and another very good part of this scan tool is the capabilities that it has, and it has many. When you look at that special function section in the drive, you have all of these, which is absolutely tons of different ones you can do. Then in the chassis you have all of these. Go out of that, the body, which was the initialized window lifter. You have all of those that you can potentially do. So when you go up into the level, and then the maintenance, so in this already I reset the service, but not just reset it, added it to the service record as well. So it's got that capability inbuilt in the scan tool where you're able to input the data you need to store that the service was done, when it was done, date, time, etc.
Now I did a ton more jobs with this scan tool. I worked on X4, X5, 3 Series, 5 Series. I worked on a Mercedes C-Class 2012, A-Class, a GLE 350 2017, Jeeps including Wrangler, Cherokees, multiple Kias and Hyundais, and loads of Mazdas. Also Havel, MG, and SsangYong, Skoda, and in the Volkswagen range I was on Tiguan's, which was the 2021, 22 and even 123, communicated with them all perfectly. Jetta, Passat, Golf, Polo and Beetle. So extensive testing this scan tool has got. I did spend about half an hour, 40 minutes just going through this BMW, including looking at the battery side, which was a nice function, which was able to show the battery charge over a 5-day period, averaging out to give you a result as to the functionality of the battery management system and also the level of charge within that battery over that time period. So something I hadn't seen before, and I thought that was quite a nice feature in it. I didn't want to go through every single detail because it would be hours and hours worth of footage, but that is just a quick snapshot as to the many jobs I did with this scan tool.
And just a couple of last notes on this before I wrap this video up, because I don't want it to be too long. Speed wise is very important in a workshop. You want a tool that's able to operate quickly and efficiently. You don't want something that's taken forever and ever to load. This sits right in the mid-range of that. It's certainly not the quickest tool in the world, but it's not slow. It's certainly not slow. I'm comparing it to some of the fastest scan tools out there. I have used the Snap-on D10 in the past. 2-second boot up time. You would literally be pulling fault codes on some vehicles within a few seconds. An absolute rocket. But would I choose a D10 over this scan tool, which is a much more expensive tool with an inbuilt oscilloscope, or would I go for this? And genuinely, I go for this one. Reason being is the coverage. This has better coverage than that Snap-on D10. It's going to be able to do more for me. So if I had to get one, I would get this and I would add on an oscilloscope to it. And that goes for probably a lot of other scan tools out there as well. If you are looking for something that has a wide coverage, that can do a lot in a package, and then maybe if you wanted to add on to certain things later, this is going to be high on the list. I can see a lot of techs and a lot of professionals grabbing this scan tool before other ones. And navigation wise, speed wise is fine. There is sometimes, and anyone who's used to using these aftermarket and going in and out, you may have to, like for example on the older vehicles, you might go into an Opel Vectra when you're looking for a Saab 9.3.
that crossover in vehicles. You would have to maybe go in and out GM and Holden over here. And you might pick a Holden and it might go, oh, I don't have all the information there. And then you go back out, go into GM, and then you'd have all the information there. It's just navigating your way through it. But if the tool has it, that's no big deal. The real downfall is if you go to do something and there's no way around it, you're not able to go in to a different vehicle and find the information there. This scan tool was able to give me all the information I needed across all those makes and models of vehicles. And that is it. That is the review of the THINKTOOL Master. An excellent product. All of the information is going to be linked in the description to the company with their contact details. Have you any questions, etc., etc. I'll also have a pinned comment down below. And that is it. It's been a pleasure to use this scan tool. I'm going to continue to use it. You will probably see it in future videos as well on some diagnostic jobs that I've recorded. And that is it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful and informative. If you did, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.